Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button for me. And if you're one of my continued followers, I want to thank you. And let's keep this channel live and vibrant with some of these commentaries and stories that I bring to you each and every day. And this one is a peculiar one that I want my listeners to give me their opinions about. That just took place with this woman in Hiram, Georgia, has blamed UPS for losing a package containing her 15-year-old son's ashes. Tanjanika Lee, who lost her teenage son, DeAndre, from fentanyl overdose in 2020, told the media outlet that she tried to ship his remains from a UPS store in Georgia to her sister in Connecticut, who was making a custom cremation urn for her son. The mother said that she had included her son's box remains in a package along with some gifts. The package was mailed in early January of this year and was expected to arrive by January 10th in Connecticut. However, the package never made it to its destination. Its last known location was a UPS facility in Windsor, Connecticut, according to the tracking number. Ms. Lee stated that, "If you ask me, it's like a repeating nightmare." So UPS lost the package that had clothes in it and her son's ashes. Now, follow me on this story, because it's going to be, there's a few caveats here. She said, "I cremated him because I had not seen him in 7 years." Now, her son was 15. She hadn't seen him in 7 years, so she last saw him when he was 8. It seems like there are a lot of family dynamics and crinkles that are in this situation and saga. She said, "So I cremated him so that he could be right here with me and we could travel together and do things together." Now, I know a loss for a mother to lose her child at such a young age could be something that you just could not imagine. And I'm sure she wanted her son's cremated ashes to be at her home. But I don't know why she would want to travel with her son's ashes when he's no longer here. Lee told Live 5 News that she went back to the UPS store from where she had mailed her package, and security footage showed that the package had left that location in Georgia. So there was not much that could be done at that store. She also took her case to the police, but they were also unable to assist her. I don't know. There's not a whole lot. Where was the crime at? Packages do get lost when you're sending them through the mail, whether it's the United States Post Office or UPS or FedEx. There's human error. There's computer error. Everything is not 100% guaranteed to get to their destination, especially on time. So I don't know where the police could have anything to do with it. Miss Lee said she is now planning to go to Connecticut to see if she can trace her package. And here is the big elephant, or the big surprise in this, that has caused this entire stir-up. In her Facebook post, Lee said UPS offered her $135 as compensation, but that she doesn't want it. UPS, in a statement, said that Lee labeled her package as containing clothes. She didn't mention anything about ashes. That's very important. There was no additional insurance purchased for the package, and UPS reimbursed her based on the estimated value of the clothes. Also, UPS does not accept human remains as a policy, but they said efforts are being made to locate the missing package. So there's several variables that are playing in this. I'm not so sure that she was aware of that. I'm not aware of that. I didn't know if there were any restrictions on what you could send uh, with UPS. I know liquids and things of that nature, as far as explosive issues. Uh, when you go to the post office, they always ask you, is there liquid or other things like that in nature. But it doesn't surprise me that they probably wouldn't want to transport human remains just for this particular scenario, that people in a very vulnerable, emotional situation when they lose a loved one. And if this takes place where they are transporting somebody's remains and it gets lost, that makes it even worse. It feels like the person, that loved one, has died twice. So I can see where Mrs. Lee is upset about it to a certain degree with UPS, but UPS is also saying that's not their policy. And when they compensated her $135, when I first heard the story, it was a little appalling to me, because of course the value of a son and the value of a human life is worth more than $135. But the more that I read about this story, UPS is saying that they didn't even know that she was transporting her son's ashes to Connecticut, that it was only articles of clothing, and she didn't have any additional insurance, and they reimbursed her based on what she said those items were in the package. So tell me what you think. This is a short one. My viewers, should UPS be liable for losing Miss Lee's son's ashes when they weren't aware that ashes were in the package, which is against their policy? Was she aware that she was sending ashes and trying to hide it based upon some clothing that she was putting in there, knowing that UPS would not have transported her son's ashes? I think it's also interesting that she hadn't seen her son for 8 years. He was 15 when he died, so that puts him at 7. So there was some kind of disruption and chaos going on in that particular scenario. Why wasn't her son with her the entire time? So tell me what your thoughts are on the UPS side and then on her side. And then she said she is rejecting the $135 check. She will never cash it. And now she's saying she's going to go to Connecticut to see if she can locate it, which also brings you to the question, well, if she's able and capable to go up to Connecticut physically and financially, maybe she should have driven up there or flown up there and had her son's ashes with her so she could hand deliver them to her sister when her sister was making the urn. So it's multiplicity to a certain degree. The other piece of the reason I'm doing this video is because fentanyl, the opioid crisis, is one of the top 3 nemesis that are destroying our citizens and our ethical and moral code here in America, and devaluing our humanity one person at a time. We are reaching a precipice where this is the first time you're seeing a street drug that is decimating and killing people instantly, whether it was Prince or people and loved ones that you know, definitely ones that I know. And we need to do something about this opioid crisis. It's unfortunate that her 15-year-old son, who was just beginning to live his life, lost his life due to fentanyl. And I think we need more people to do videos and talk about the fentanyl and opioid crisis that's decimating America. Black, white folks, it has no color, zip code, race, creed, color. It is happening in the cities, it is happening in the suburbs, and we need to do something about it immediately. So, for all my listeners, thank you for listening to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth in a righteous, positive, and God-fearing way, and give me your thoughts on this UPS versus Miss Lee and the loss of her son's ashes in transportation to Connecticut.